Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to this 5-minute fitness tips episode of the Live Train Perform podcast. I'm your host, Sean Kober. As the name suggests, I'm going to spend 5 minutes going through some of my quick and dirty fitness tips to allow you to get the most out of your training. Now, I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 24th of February. Yesterday, being Tuesday, 23rd of February, I posted on my social media platforms about the force velocity curve. That's what this episode is going to be all about. I'm going to dive into that in a little bit more detail. So, what is the force velocity curve? The force velocity curve is simply understanding and applying the principles of different strength profiles. So, we'll dive into each one of those strength profiles and an example of some of the exercises that you can use to represent each one of those strength profiles. Now, this is a model that I use in the strength and conditioning industry to get the most out of my athletes, in particular my professional fighters. However, it is an awesome model to also apply to general population clients. Now, I have spoken in the past about the importance of being able to produce force rapidly, quickly in multiple directions from multiple positions. And this is kind of like our plyometrics, our speed work, our power work, and things like that. Now, when it comes to movement is a skill. And if we don't use something, we start losing the ability to do that thing. So as we get older, we're typically not playing sports. We're not being as reactive with our training and things like that. So it is very important to incorporate some kind of reactive drills within the gym environment. So an example of this is sprints, jumps, and throws. And I've done a full 5-minute fitness tips episode on sprints, jumps, and throws. So go back and listen to that to give you a cleaner understanding of what I'm talking about here. But essentially, these different strength profiles cover off on different aspects of strength. So strength is the foundational element of pretty much movement. So stability is a component of strength. Mobility is a component of strength, being able to take your joints through full range of movement under control. Speed is an expression of strength. Power is an expression of strength. Endurance is also an expression of strength. So I like to use the force velocity curve to structure my training. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about here. The particular post that I'm talking about that I did yesterday, I used one of my professional fighters who fights with one championship to demonstrate the different exercises that represent different portions of the force velocity curve and those individual strength profiles. So he's a wrestler from Dagestan, national level wrestler, and he is strong as fuck. So I don't need to do much strength-based work. So this is the top of the force velocity curve. This is how much force can I produce. So think like a 1 rep max deadlift might be our strength component. Okay, it is pure brute strength or absolute strength. Again, there's many different types of strength, but I'm going to use this model to try and paint a clearer picture. 1 rep max deadlift, 1 rep max squat, 3 rep max, 6 rep max, pull-ups, bench press, carries, sled drags, prowler pushes, etc., etc. Just think fucking heavy, all right? High amounts of force. Then we have our strength speed. So our strength speed is focused on strength. It's still high amounts of force, but now we add a speed component to that. So an Olympic lift is an example of our strength speed. I might also take, I'll give you guys a really simple example. Okay, my strength is going to be a 1 rep max deadlift with a trap bar. Okay, then my strength speed, I take some load off, I take some weight off, and I increase the velocity or the speed at which I'm completing that movement. So I might take that trap bar and add some bands to that. Okay, now I'm adding a speed component, but the focus is still on strength. Then we go lighter and move faster. And this is our power. So a good combination of strength and speed. So now I might take that trap bar and I might take a heap of weight off and might be lifting maybe 50% of my 1 rep max. But now what I'm going to do is try and jump with that weight. Okay, so that's an expression of strength done rapidly, okay, which is power. Then further down the force velocity curve is my speed strength. This is where the focus is primarily on speed, moving that weight as fast as possible, or yourself as fast as possible, or an external load like a ball or a sledgehammer or a tire or whatever it might be, where the focus is on speed, moving as fast as possible with an element of strength. So I like to use jumps here, counter movement jumps in particular, where we fall off a box, we control the landing, and then we redirect that force. So the primary component is speed and getting that stretch reflex where we rebound out of that bottom position, but there's also obviously an element of strength as we brake, and we absorb that force and then we redirect that force. Right down the bottom, we have our speed-based work. So this is where it might be stair sprints, it might be just a simple straight-up sprint, it might be hill sprints or something like that. Actually, hill sprints is probably going to be more of that speed strength, because as we increase the angle of the hill, then that's going to add more of a strength component. So very simple example of looking at the force velocity curve. And once you understand this, then it can kind of help you structure your training a little bit better. You don't always want to be in one particular component. So another example of this is if I've got like a heavyweight fighter who's really fucking strong, then if I want to make them more, my goal as a coach is to make someone more athletic and make them a more explosive athlete. So which should transfer into the cage or the ring or whatever. So if someone's really fucking strong, I don't need to spend any time building more strength. Okay, I'm going to work on their speed. And if I can increase their speed, which is their ability to rapidly exert that force, then that's going to make them more explosive. Likewise, if I have a lightweight fighter who's, obviously a lot lighter, doesn't have as much weight, and is super fucking fast, has a lot of speed, if I want to make them more explosive, then I need to add strength. So, obviously I need to look at every individual person. I need to look at every individual athlete and then determine what they need the most. But for the average person listening, looking at your different expressions of strength is an excellent way of making sure that you're covering all of your bases in the gym. So again, to give some examples, strength-based work, heavy, slow, all right, grinding type strength. Our strength speed is still heavy, but we're choosing an exercise that we can produce a little bit more speed and get that bar moving faster. Okay, power might be jumps, it might be medicine ball slams or throws in multiple directions, tire flips, sledgehammer slams, whatever, okay. Then my speed strength based work might be a hill sprint, it might be a counter movement jump, and things of that nature. Okay, and then right down the bottom is our speed based work, pure speed based work. This is where we're doing straight up sprints. This is where we might be doing stair sprints. We might be doing sprints on the turf and using cone drills and things like that. We might be using the ladder for speed, agility, and quickness based drills. Hopefully that's answered some of the questions that have come in from my listeners and followers. If there's anything in particular that you guys would love to hear about, please make sure you hit me up on my social media platform at coach_Kobes, Kobes. I will see you guys next time. Peace.